5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy T-Lo.
Yo, what's Gucci? This your man Tweet.
What up, y'all? DJ Kid Fresh.
What's up? It's your boy RL.
And we're next.
And you're rocking with The Rebirth every Monday at 7 p.m.
With your host, Shay Marriott.
Let's go.
And Eli Isabel. At Philly Jam 95.3 FM.
Good evening and welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jamz 95.3 FM. I'm your host, Shay Marriott, and of course, I got my sidekick here.
What's up, family? It's your boy Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South. Got something to say. What's happening? Rebirth. What's happening? Philly Jams 95.3. We in the building. What's up, Shay?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday. Yes, thank you. Again.
Hey, that's a blessing.
Yes. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in with us. We have a great show tonight. You guys are such loyal listeners, so we really, really appreciate that.
Tonight, we're just bringing you not a little bit, we're bringing you, I said it earlier, is that a phrase, a word?
We can make it one.
So we're bringing you a lot of bit of knowledge tonight on something that should be near and dear to the majority of our listeners' hearts here. I know we have some people of other, but they need to be schooled too. So we're here to bring you that tonight, man, and educate.
Yes.
And
yes,
inform.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Entertain.
That's what we do.
Yes. How was your weekend?
My weekend, you know how my weekend was.
But the people don't.
Woo! My weekend was busy. It was prom. Yes. Both of my sons got a chance to go to prom. And the cool thing about this is, so the school that they go to, their high school part is fairly new, right?
Okay.
So the senior class is small, so they combine the junior and senior together for prom. So my youngest son got a chance to hang out with his big brother for his senior prom.
Okay.
And they were sharp. They were sharp. You
They
know,
were
you was
clean
there.
as Clorox. I must say.
Yeah, it was such. It was a lot of work because we did the prom send off and everything. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. They were so happy, and and I cried.
Of course.
That's
what you do.
That's what I do. I cried, and I'm gonna cry again June 3rd for graduation.
You're gonna be dehydrated.
I'm gonna be
it's gonna be hot in June. You better calm down.
I know.
Get your electric lights up before the graduation.
I know. I'm just so proud of them.
That's
you
good.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
a major accomplishment.
I'm so proud of them. And guess what?
What?
They came right home after prom.
What? They had a Corvette and came right home?
Ain't God good?
Man, I'd have been on 495 wide open.
You know, I gave them a curfew. I said curfew midnight, and they literally was walking in like midnight.
Wow.
Maybe like 5 of, you know.
It's a testament
but
to you.
Here's the thing. I was not going to bed. You know, I was so sick. I had a really bad sinus infection, and my head felt like it was about to explode. But I was pushing through. But I was not going to bed until they walked in that door. Because unfortunately, a lot of kids, when they go to prom, they don't make it home. You know, and it's very, very sad, some of the things that do happen. But God brought my babies home, and I was so happy, and, you know, it was a great time.
It was a great time.
Thank you for hanging out, coming over.
Thanks for getting me tipsy with that Taylor's Port you was pouring around there.
It was not no Taylor's Port. Don't even try it.
No, I think it was like 18% alcohol or something going on. It was like Taylor's Port. You know what was dope though? Just how the family came together.
Yeah.
I thought that was hot because it takes mature adults to put the adult nonsense. And most of the time, it's adult nonsense. I'm gonna reiterate nonsense that gets in the way of the kids having what they need and being happy.
Right.
So a shout out to you and Norm and you know all the adults. The grandparents came together. I thought that was hot, man.
Yeah.
We need more of that. So that was dope.
Yeah. We can't, and that's why our sons are the way they are because. Despite going through a divorce many years ago, we still remain friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can have our significant others around each other. He had his girlfriend.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, my fiance was working, but everything was cool, and absolutely, it should be that way, especially when you have children involved.
Absolutely. It's good to see that Norm didn't go backwards. It's like,
Smart,
if you're gonna move on, you might as well, keep it going. Nah, we're good. Yeah, I would thank you for inviting me to. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So how was your weekend? What'd
My
you do?
weekend was spent at Dover High School Saturday for my kid made the state tournament, the state championship for shot put and the
Congratulations,
discus. Yeah.
Haley Rose.
So she did her thing, and now she's been invited
awesome.
on Wednesday. Thank you, Tasha. Never heard that applause before. And so on this Wednesday, she's going to be at the meet. Is going to be the meeting of the champions. So if you've won a certain amount of events or tiers, she'll do that in the discus on Wednesday.
Okay.
So yeah, and then back to cheerleading.
Okay.
So that's my
They're busy.
Listen, yesterday, and I know we have a guest, so I'm gonna hurry up. So yesterday, you know me and the hip have been having technical difficulties, right? Man, so I do my tip. It was a beautiful day. I get up, I turn my music on in the garage. I go out and I straightened my garage up. It was a hot mess. So then I watch the cars. This is kind of my little therapy. I throw my music on. I ain't have no drink
You was
yesterday, which
washing
was odd.
cars? You could have came and got mine.
Yeah, so I was watching the cars, and then I cut the grass right after that, and then I walked 4
wow.
miles. And man, let me tell you,
You
about
overdid it.
5:30, your boy was broke down like an old Chevy. Broke down.
You overdid it.
Hot mess.
Doing
So
too much.
today I've been chilling.
Okay.
I'll get back to it tomorrow. Though.
Okay.
I'm trying to walk 5 miles. I had to cut my walk short. I had walked I had
Was you hopping?
23,000 steps yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't hop in. Don't do me like that. But it's a little tender down over in the little hip area.
You got ice there. You icing it?
I'm a man. I don't know ice. Son.
Okay. All
What you
right,
talking
man.
about? We cut this out.
Okay.
Cut this out. Either do it or don't do it.
Yeah, all right. Later you'll be like, how many ice packs do I need?
Well, I have the reusable ones.
Exactly.
So anyway, that was my weekend. Thank you for asking.
Of course.
All right. So we're going to get right into it tonight. As you know, on Rebirth, y'all, we honor Black History 12 months out of the year. It is not just for February on the Rebirth Show. So tonight I want to tell you about someone, and I like to bring you things that you guys had no idea about, and myself too at times. So tonight I want to talk about Miss Clara Stanton Jones. She was born May 14th, 1913. She was the first African-American president of the American Library Association, serving as its acting president from April the 11th to July the 22nd in 1976. And then its president, I'm sorry, hold on. Jeez, I'm tired, I'm sorry. Let me start that over. Clarence Stanton Jones, I want to give her full props, was the first African-American president of the American Library Association, serving as its acting president from April 11th to July the 22nd, 1976. And then its president from July 22nd, 1976 to 1977. She did it twice. That's why it threw me off. Also in 1870, she became the first African-American and the first woman to serve as director of a major library system in America. So as the director of the Detroit Public Library, let's give some love to Miss Clara Stanton Jones.
That's what's up.
All right. Who knew that? Show of hands.
I
All
didn't
right.
know
All
that.
right. That's what I'm saying. We're going to educate, baby. That's what we do.
Do you know that the last week Tanera was on, and she was telling me about she was taking a walk on Market Street or in town in Wilmington, and she ran into this museum that has a lot of Black history information in there. And I didn't know about it. She didn't know about it. So she went in and she was just like, it was like a wealth of information, like stuff she didn't even know.
Really? What's it called?
Yeah. You
I
know what
feel
it's
like I
called?
might know this.
Wilmington Historicals.
Oh,
something
yeah,
like that, yeah.
yeah. If you're going up Market, it's on the right-hand side. Am I correct? Like if you're going toward, like, 10th
Rodney
Street.
Square. Right.
If you're going toward Rodney Square, it's on the right-hand side, isn't
You're
it?
absolutely right.
I know. I am familiar with that.
Yeah. Have you been in there?
I passed it a bunch of times.
You know what?
Because I'm always working when I'm going in that area. So.
Go
Right.
in there. They do have some great stuff.
Yeah, that's what
All
she
right,
said.
all right. We have
That's
to
what
go.
she
Maybe we need to
said.
interview the
Yeah.
people who are the curators of this museum.
Wow, that's cool.
And there is a new director there that I'm sure you'd love to meet.
We should
Okay.
introduce her since she jumped in on the conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's introduce our guest right now. Without further ado. Go ahead. No,
wanna introduce?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
All right, guys. So we have an amazing guest on the show tonight, and I mean, listen, tune in, share, Get your people. Everybody should learn about, this special holiday that is actually going to be coming up. Without further ado, she is the co-founder of Delaware Juneteenth Association Parade and Freedom Festival. Okay, did I get that right?
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Did I miss something?
No,
Because I want to get everything
you
out.
didn't miss
Okay.
anything. You got it right.
However,
Go ahead and add.
which negates everything she just said, right? So, I am the co-chair. I am the chair for the parade and the festival, but I'm also
Okay.
one of the founders. We started in 1994.
wow.
Okay, guys.
Almost
So
30
before she
years.
starts, please give it up for Miss Brenda Timmon Gutter.
Yes.
I had to get that right. Thank you for joining the
Thank
Rebirth.
you. Yes.
And tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about everything Juneteenth because it is coming up. So I'm very excited. All right, Miss Brenda.
It is coming up, and you know what? It is so important.
Yes.
And I don't think, even though it is now a national holiday, I don't think people realize yet the importance of it. They just think, it's another day off, and
Right.
I don't think people even kind of research what it was.
Right.
Everybody knows what July 4th is, right? So they say Independence Day,
Yeah.
right? But it's not everybody's Independence Day.
Yeah.
That is true.
Because we didn't have independence. People of color, indentured servants, we didn't have that.
Right.
So until we were, the Emancipation Proclamation went into place, freeing slaves, we were all slaves. So we didn't have an Independence Day.
Yeah.
So in 1865, President Lincoln, and actually in 1865, President Lincoln did sign the Emancipation Proclamation, but he did it in 1862. But Civil War and all that stuff
Right.
broke out. So they didn't want to free slaves because then who's going to farm the lands
Exactly.
and take care of their families while some of them went off to war or some of them continued just to be in their business
That's
and,
right.
and
Right.
get more money. But they couldn't afford to have their workforce going. So if I told you about it, that means I had to let you go.
Right.
So
right.
I wasn't doing that. And so in 1865, it wasn't like we had
We could text
cell
them.
phones or
Hey,
somebody
we
text
free.
you and like
Right.
that's
Right.
right. Or
Yeah.
or called you or anything like
Yeah.
that. So it not only the ones that kind of knew they were free or had already heard about it, it still probably would have taken just that long because they didn't have forms of communication.
Yeah.
And families were so sent out, they weren't together. Like mothers didn't have their children or
Husbands
so-
are separated.
Right,
Yeah.
all of that. So when that time came that he actually decided that, okay, President Lincoln, and everybody knows that he didn't free the slaves for freedom's sake, but that's a whole nother story for a
Right.
whole nother day.
Right.
Because we know where we are. We're not blind and we're not vulnerable.
Right.
So
Right.
for those who understand history and say that, and I'm not saying it wasn't the right thing to do to free slaves, but I'm saying the reason for freeing wasn't the right thing to do. However, are we glad we're free? And are we free? But we're free-ish. we're free-ish. And and for me, I don't care what color you are. You're free-ish
Right.
because you are accountable to somebody. So I know that might upset a lot of people,
But it's true.
but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, 1865, Colonel Granger went into Galveston, Texas, because that's where the last slaves found out
Right.
that they were free. And he read a proclamation, and that's where they freed the slaves. So after that, they decided that they needed to do something, a gathering, something, so that families could get back together. So all over the South, and in parts of, and did y'all know Delaware was the South at one point in time too, right?
Absolutely.
Like after
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
And that's another story for another
Yes,
day.
yeah. That museum actually shows a lot of stuff about Delaware, according
Right.
to Tanera. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so families started getting back together. So that's kind of how Juneteenth came into effect. Because June the 1865
Yeah.
supposedly was the last time that we were told that we were free and all slaves were freed.
And then comes the penal system shortly thereafter
And shortly thereafter.
to put us back in bondage.
But when we think about it, did a lot really change just knowing that? Because even though I'm joking about free-ish, it's real.
Right. The system was already set up, so it didn't matter if we were told verbally that we were free, because the system said we weren't.
Okay, because we're told that we have equality.
True.
I was told I was 6'1" the other day, but I'm not. Still 5'8"-ish.
So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we as a people have to learn how to start researching things for ourselves, and not
Yes.
just letting people spoon feed us whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if we look at how history is now, let's just be real. Caucasians try to glamorize, as I don't know if you guys pay attention to this, but they try to glamorize slavery like it really wasn't that bad. You know, you ate.
Wow.
We took care of you. You
worked me to the
Yeah,
bone
no.
and mistreated me.
and that's nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, the Jews can talk about the Holocaust, but when we start talking about the passage and all
Yeah.
of that, nobody wants to hear that. We need to get over that.
That's right. That's right. And no one ever told the Jews that the Holocaust wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
No one ever says that.
Never.
So
I've never heard it.
me either.
And guess what? A lot of times they say stuff to us. It's just blatant.
Yeah.
You guys need to get over that. We have
Yeah.
not done.
Those microaggressions.
Or it's not my. It
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
me that held you in captive. That held you guys in captive.
Yeah.
And you weren't even a slave. So what is your problem?
What is your problem?
Wow.
Yeah. Some of my good friends are black.
Oh,
You hear that
girl.
one? Some of my good friends are black, you know? Oh, yeah. That's like you said, that's a whole nother lane
That's
that
the
we can
worst
go
statement
down.
ever.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Absolutely. So with that, I'm always saying, listen, if you celebrate July the 4th, and I'm not saying don't, because I really appreciate the day off. I don't know about y'all, but I appreciate it.
I takes mine.
However, have the same appreciation
Yep.
for June the 19th.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And guess what? It's not June the 19th, 1865. It's June the 19th, 2023.
That's right.
It was June the 19th, 2022, because that's when it first became a national holiday.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And everybody is off.
Even the people that be saying that it wasn't that bad, huh?
Even the people that wasn't.
Slavery
I'll
wasn't
be
that
like,
bad.
okay, if nothing else, thank us for the day off. How about that?
Amen.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel our people can go and celebrate, like you said, 4th of July and what
St.
was that?
Patrick's Day.
Cinco
all
de
kind of
Mayo,
stuff. Yeah, Cinco de
you
Mayo.
know,
yeah.
and all of that.
No, have you ever
But
been to the Italian festival?
I have years
We be-
years ago.
We be killing it. Giving them our money
Yeah,
like they
yep.
done us some great justice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For the record, I've never been.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a Juneteenth celebration?
Once I went to one time.
Was it in the state of Delaware?
I think it was okay. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna think. I feel like maybe it wasn't called that, but I went to. It was down at Brandywine Park. It was a festival. It was an African American festival. I don't
that's
think it was.
with,
That was years ago.
Sister
Though.
Shabazz and Brother Shabazz.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
years ago though.
Hanif and Hanifa.
And that was
Yeah.
I thought that was very nice. I haven't
Oh,
been to a
absolutely.
Juneteenth. Haven't been to a
Absolutely.
Juneteenth though.
Oh, okay.
What can we expect?
Well, this year you can expect in the park, Well, actually, let me do a rundown of everything, so I won't start just at the
Okay.
part.
All right.
I always like to do me first because.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's finish doing. Let's do.
But I'm gonna keep it in order.
But you know what? I wanna know what. Of course, I know you're passionate about this. I heard you say this is my baby. So because I mean, your recognition. I mean, you help get it. For it to become a holiday.
Absolutely.
Right. So, what inspired you to
We
do
were
this?
supporting Opal Lee before there was anybody even knew who Opal Lee was. Do y'all know who she is?
No.
She is the woman that walked across the country to get Juneteenth to become a state holiday for them to
wow.
recognize
Okay.
OPA, OPA.
it. OPAL Lee.
Wow. Okay.
I think she put a book out. She was here in Wilmington. Well, in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
At the Congo Legacy Center.
Oh, okay.
Where Carney signed for it to be a holiday.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay.
Yes. Yep. And we were
Wow.
there supporting. But
Okay.
so I'm going to take you back a little bit because now that I'm kind of thinking about it. In 1994, we were even then petitioning for it to become a at least a state holiday at the time. Because yes, states make decisions about what they want to celebrate and what they don't want to celebrate.
Right.
So we weren't really going global just yet. So we got I don't know if y'all remember her because I don't know how old you guys actually are. So I'm
We're
just gonna
50.
say. Oh, okay. So
I'm-
then
I'm
you probably
32.
do. Do you remember Senator Margaret Rose Henry?
Yes, I know the name.
Okay, Senator Henry and I know y'all know Carper.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Carper. See, I'm not originally from Delaware.
Oh, okay.
So I moved here back in the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
So I may
You
have
should know
missed
Margaret
some
Rose
people.
Henry, though.
Yeah, you should know
Really?
Margaret Rose Henry then.
I don't know her.
Okay.
Sorry.
School this young pup over here.
Because that's Black history too.
That's
Okay.
Margaret Rose
That's
Henry
right.
is
That's
Black
right.
history. Because
Okay,
she
I'll
ran
look
as a
her up.
Republican, and when she won, she became a Democrat.
Oh, wow.
Beat them at their own game.
Now, if that's not
Oh, you
history,
could
I don't know what
you
is.
could switch
Right.
like that? I didn't know you could switch like that. Okay.
She became a Democrat. Yep.
Wow.
So, so back in the '90s, we petitioned to have that done, and her and Carper signed it, and so then it was recognized.
Okay.
Which is the difference between it's not really but we
Right.
recognize.
We see you.
Yeah, we see you here. Here's something. But we appreciate it because nobody else would touch it at the time.
Right.
It was the '90s.
Right.
But dang.
Pardon?
Exactly. It was the 90s. Maybe it should have been a little more progressive.
Yeah, Delaware just got slave laws off the books in the '80s.
Okay. All right. So that's too soon. Okay. That was too soon.
Too soon, too soon,
Too
too
soon.
much.
Asking for too much.
And they gave you all the laws. Now you want to take this proclamation and get out of here.
So after that, we started doing the festival that year, and we had and the reason we became interested in it is because we had at the time we worked for an organization called the Wilmington Cluster Against Substance Abuse. And we were stationed in all different community centers throughout the state of Delaware.
Okay.
So one of our coworkers went to Milwaukee for a conference or something, and he came back and he was just like, "Oh my God!" In Milwaukee, in Milwaukee, they celebrate Juneteenth, and this is what Juneteenth is, and so he just ran it down, and so that lit the fire under everybody else because now
Wow.
we're like. We're excited,
Right.
and for me, I was super excited because I was also an elder in Rites of Passage at the time.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember that. Do you remember Rites of Passage?
I do not. Why are you looking at me?
Okay.
This
Now-
is the education. We're being educated
Yeah, we're
tonight.
being educated. Well, I'm glad
absolutely.
we like bouncing off of here.
I
There's
know-
some
I know
things
more than you,
remember,
though.
Some things I don't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Carry on.
Well, as he should. You grew up here?
No, I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, you from Arkansas? How long have you been here?
I've been here for a very long time.
What's a very long time?
Since the 12th grade.
Oh, that is a very
It's
long
a
time.
long time.
Okay, got you.
But I hold on to my roots very strong. Just so you
okay.
know.
Arkansas.
Absolutely.
What part of Arkansas are you from?
What part of Arkansas do you know about?
I ain't even gonna tell you.
You tell me, I tell you.
You tell me first.
I'm from a town called Turl. It's outside of West Memphis.
For some reason, I've heard of that. Why?
You've heard of? Oh, you tell me. You might
Turl.
have you a Southern man.
Actually,
From
we're
around yonder.
my family is from Louisiana.
Okay. What part?
Child, you wouldn't know.
I might though.
There is my dad is from a town called Natchitoches.
Natchez.
No.
Oh, Natchitoches.
Natchitoches is different from Natchez.
Natchez,
My
okay.
aunt lived in Natchez.
Okay, got you.
My mom is from a little parish called St. George Parish.
Okay.
So I
That's where that complexion come from. You got some Creole up in you?
that's the first thing everybody says. I don't know, but my mom is like way brighter than me.
You probably got some Creole going on up in there.
So,
Okay,
and
all
that's
right.
what everybody say. That, but I don't like rice, so they be like, "What?"
Well, that's a sin. But go ahead.
Yeah. So, with that, as I was saying, they signed it, and so then we started the celebration. He came back, he told us about it. We just got right on it. And the community centers throughout the state of Delaware was like Edgemoor, West Center City, Rose Hill Community Center. I was going to say something else, but I'm going to keep that for another day. Kingswood,
Oh boy.
Edgemoor. So there, and then they had a community center down at Silver Lake in Dover.
Okay.
And so all of us were a part of the Wilmington Cluster Against Substance Abuse.
Wow.
And so we worked with young people. And as I said, I was an elder in the rites of passage. So the young people that worked with me were already used to learning about history from being in rites of passage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we started partaking in this and doing different things with this, when our very first one, we did a parade and a festival that was just like, first off, we had, when I think about it, I was like, okay, we didn't really think this out. However, they got some great exercise.
Okay. They got the steps in.
Step teams. The parade probably was like 2 miles long. And we walked from Rodney Square to Eden Park. I don't know if you guys know what that distance is. And it was like 96 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was not thought out.
And
huh?
I was like, yeah. Well, the good part, we also had paramedics.
As you should.
And water trucks.
There you
Yes.
go. Wow.
So at least you was prepared.
But it still was a lot. And then once the kids got to the festival, every step groups wants to step and do their thing and show their
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, it's 96 degrees out here. Y'all should be sitting under a tree wanting some water, but no. So we did that, probably the festival part of it, probably for about 4 years.
Okay.
And that was really all it kind of consisted of. We used to do it in Christiana Park, which is like on
right before South Bridge.
I say 4th Street.
Yeah.
for people, because it sits like 4th Street and right before you go over the bridge in
Yeah.
South Bridge.
East side.
Because what I really wanted to do was kind of like keep it in the community.
Okay.
I also worked at People's Settlement.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
So I kind of wanted to keep it in the community where people who probably would be interested in it lived. Like when we did parades, people used to come out of their houses just to, cheer them on
Yeah.
and watch the
Right.
parade and all that kind of stuff. Now we come down, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. We come down King Street.
Okay.
It's a
There's
little commercial.
Yeah. It's some people that live there, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
I know what you mean.
And
Those people need to see this though too.
they absolutely do. But you know what? There's a lot of people that look like us that live downtown that don't.
Right.
So, encouraging them to take part in history.
Right.
We can't, we can't teach things and then don't live things.
Right.
Oh, you need to you need to know your history.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't live your history, then it's all
Right.
going in vain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a good
So
point.
if I'm going to be an elder in the rites of passage, that means I need to carry myself as such,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to know something about my history, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Because who wants to know if I don't know?
Right. Right.
I can't really teach anything. So even with our so moving on to our next event. So after we did the festival, we started a Juneteenth pageant.
Okay.
And whereas the girls would, and it didn't start like, okay, you guys come in, y'all do a little something, and then you win a crown and you go home. They start in January. And what they do is each session that they meet every Sunday.
Okay.
And at each session, they are taught something different.
Okay.
They're taught etiquette. They're taught how to speak. They're
Wow.
so about self-esteem. So it's a lot of different topics that they're taught. Because you really would be surprised how much. And I know you guys won't because of your background. But how much, even as young women, and I'm saying starting from the age of 8, how
Right.
we just don't like who we are because of the color of our skin, the
Absolutely.
texture of our hair,
Absolutely.
the all of that. And so those are kind of things that we get to work on.
Yeah.
And so, like I'm always saying to young ladies, you can't have somebody else define your beauty. It has to start with you first.
Right. Right.
Because guess what? I like my hair. Well, not today because it's a wig.
It's still nice.
You still rocking it. Though.
Right. so it is mine because I did pay for it.
That's right.
But but we have to get our young people to kind of start believing in who they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And what better way to start having them believe in who they are and where they come from unless we're teaching that.
Yeah.
And teaching and you know, in some places, even having this conversation in 2023 is wrong.
Florida.
Oh my gosh.
Texas.
Yes.
They
Several.
have fired teachers for having critical race theory conversations. 2020.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
ridiculous.
No,
I
no,
do
we done
believe
heard
it.
y'all
I
stuff
do
all
believe
day
it.
long.
Ridiculous. Right.
And now we
Exactly.
can't talk about it.
Exactly.
And we can't talk about it because it depicts you as a monster.
Right. Right.
Now, if it was romanticized like they want to do it, then they would be.
If
it would
every
be
story
good.
was like The
Yeah.
Blind Side,
Yeah.
where there's some white savior coming
I
through
wasn't-
and
like
Yeah.
check. I wasn't raping your women or anything
Right.
like that. This is an adult. I'm hoping.
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just look young. I'm grown though.
You know what?
I'm over age. I'm of age.
They want to make it seem like this was something that you're lucky you got picked. He loved them. They had children by him.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that really is that's not how that went down.
I wish somebody would say that to me.
Yeah, they leaving out that you were raped.
But you
or
you'd be
did this against your
surprised.
will. You know what I mean? That part gets left out.
Which is
Yeah.
why they're really getting behind if you do anything that concerns critical race theories. And the fact that they're calling it a theory really
Right.
blows my
Yeah.
mind. Like it didn't really happen. It's just a theory.
Yeah, that's
This is all
that's
in y'all's
respectful.
head.
Yeah.
This did not happen.
Wow.
So
Wow.
with that, we need to get our children to understand, which is why I'm like, Black history still is not taught in schools. So it is our job as adults and as parents, as if you're a mentor or whatever,
Yeah.
and I don't care if I'm not saying this is something you have to do every single day, but it is something that you need to make sure that they're very well aware of. Like with my And I'm about to tell some stuff on myself, but it's okay. I remember when my children were in high school, and my boys went to rites of passage, and so they knew their history. And I used to say to them, listen, if you do not want to salute the flag, you do not have to.
Right.
It is your right and your choice. And they didn't one day. And the teacher said, why are you not saluting the flag? And my son said, because my mom said I don't have to if I don't want to. And I don't want to because I'm not going to have an allegiance to a flag that doesn't have an allegiance to me.
That's right.
You know, even for he was in high school, but even for a high schooler to say that to a teacher, they are extremely offended. Because that means, oh, let me back up because this kid must know something about who he is and where he came from.
Right.
And so the teacher made the mistake of saying, your mom must be dumb.
Wow.
Now let me tell you something. Both of my boys been taller than me since forever. And I'm tall. But they've been taller than me since forever. And he said this to my calm one. So he got really upset and he was like, I need to leave because I need to call my mom.
Right.
Because that's what I told him to do.
Yeah.
You don't deal with grown-ups,
That's
I
right.
deal
Let me
with
handle
grown-ups.
that. Yeah.
And you have a right to tell them that you want to call your mom. I don't care what's going on. And
Right.
if they don't and you come home and tell me, oh, there's going to be
it goes
something
down.
to pay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, but that just goes, and that was in
Wow.
like in the 90s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Them good old 90s.
Wow. Yeah, I think you'd be surprised at the people who are educating our children, the lack of education they have, because they've only been taught what we've been taught. If you think about history, they've only been taught what we've been taught, and they believe it. That's the gospel. The stuff we had in American history and social studies, they believe that. There's no changing that narrative. That's why it's called critical. That's why it's a theory, because that's not what we've been taught this whole time.
Right.
So I think we have to make sure we cognizant of that part also.
It's not what we've been taught, but there are two sides to every story.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm listen, I'm on the
you
black
with me?
side. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
okay.
No, I'm just saying that
No,
we
I'm
have to be
just-
cognizant of the ignorance that they've grown up believing. Like we grew up believing
absolutely.
Christopher Columbus discovered
I-
America, all that
listen.
nonsense. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, I don't fault people for being who they are because you had to get what you do from somewhere.
Absolutely.
And if that's what you were raised in and that's what's embedded in you, then I'm not expecting anything different from you. I can tell you if and I'm not the kind of person that will say, listen, you need to do blah 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 because you know y'all blah blah. I'm not. That's not me.
Right.
If you are interested in knowing the truth, then and you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Right. Right.
And sometimes I'll say, do you want to hear what you think is going to be good for your ears, or do you want to hear the truth?
Right.
Because everybody can, as who was that? Jack Nicholson said, everybody can't handle
They
it.
cannot. That is true.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So that's why it is. That's why I'm always saying Juneteenth, everything Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Because it even though people don't want to talk about the passage and that part of it and all, they don't want us to discuss that kind of stuff because again, like I said, it makes them look like monsters.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And like they're trying to tell us, it wasn't you. You didn't specifically do it. But your people did.
But then that's what they
Right.
also say to us about slavery.
That's what I'm
You
saying. We
weren't
can
afraid.
flip that now. So let's talk
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Because, you personally didn't do it. Let's talk about this.
Right.
Why you
Right.
feel a way about it?
Because
If you
it's
try to
still
put that on
embedded
us.
in me because you
Yeah.
know what? I still feel like that.
White guilt is
I
a
still
mother.
feel like it could be, but it also could be, if you get the right ones, it could be profitable. So, I'm just joking.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. Not, but
It's all good.
The views expressed in this program are those and I was just No, we with you.
I don't blame you.
We with you. We with you.
So that's why it's important for it always to be everything Juneteenth, because you have to start from somewhere. And so let's start from, since you don't want to hear about the passage and all that, let's start from when we were freed ish. Because we still had to go through fighting the vote, fighting the, I mean, anything. It wasn't like lynching stopped.
Right.
They was lynching in the 60s.
Jim
70s.
Crow was cold too.
All of that.
Yes.
So, I mean, thank you.
Right.
And I'm going to leave it there.
Can I ask you a question? I know.
Sure.
So this is not one of the questions that because I'm really into this Black history and all of that stuff, and being from the South and the stories I heard growing up, these things always resonate with me. Do you think, or why do you think the children of today are less interested in our history? You know what I mean? Do you get that from the children today? Like, and I mean, not even the children. I mean, like these 20, 30 somethings. Like they don't care.
Because it's bingo.
But I'm just saying, like, why?
But why they don't care?
Yeah.
Because nobody has taught them to care. I mean, the reality is this. When I was raising children, I did it because I knew it was necessary. And I also wanted my children to understand that even though this is 2000 or 1990 or whatever, racism is still very much alive.
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to shelter you in a bubble or anything, but I want you to know, be able to recognize it.
Be aware. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you were coming up, didn't your mom always say, be aware of your surroundings?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But if I'm a parent that is not aware and I have no interest and and I mean, the reality is it's also a very selfish. It's because we've been taught that. It's all about me,
Right.
me, until me becomes a problem with something that I do, then, then we want to point fingers other places. Even, I mean, if you've ever, I was in a kindergarten class one time, and the teacher actually said to a kid, he was really feeling kind of bad for somebody that was crying, and he was like, oh, that, right?
Which is what he should do.
Which is
empathy.
Absolutely. You should mind your business. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, who said that?
The teacher.
Said that to a kid?
Yup.
What school was that? No, I was just kidding.
Oh, she ain't there.
That's good.
Like, I took care of that.
I handled that.
She got handled.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Todd hit it. That's right. We got that one.
Miss Brenda handled her.
So, but if we are not, like I said, even when I was raising kids, there were not a lot of parents that talked about Black history. But it was also what I understood, parents were only concerned was trying to make ends meet.
Right.
Or make a living, or, and like that was really an era when there were less dads in the home then. And I mean, even though people say that and it almost sounds kind of cliches, but it is what it is. It's the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like mom had, and even if it was a single dad, if I'm working and doing what I need to do to like just put food on the table, I'm not interested in my history. I'm not interested in teaching you much of anything, because a lot of those same people that don't know the history literally don't
Right.
aren't interested in much of anything outside of their home.
But something, Miss Brenda, even now I had friends like that. Like some of us, our parents only gave us what they knew. I get that part. But and once a year, you set your ass down and you were made to watch Roots, if nothing else. And I'm not being funny, but a lot of us learned our history by watching Roots.
Wow.
5 days, that 5 days it was on.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have anybody that was pouring into you about your history, then that's where it came from. For a lot of us, of course not every Black person, but that's where it came from. So even today, kids aren't even getting that much of their history. For the most part, they're not.
But if you got a kid and you sat them down and said, let's watch Roots, you probably would be like, are you kidding?
Yes. Right. Today.
Does it come on this phone?
It actually, you can stream it.
But then again, that's where parenting comes in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make productive, well-rounded folk. But if we can't, if we can't have any kind of control, then they're pretty much going to do whatever.
Right.
You know, like I always hear, because I've worked with parents for many years that were trying to get their kids back from the state. And I used to always hear, you know, it's just too much. They just want to do what they want to do. And I'm like, okay, but who's the parent?
Right.
Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that means he's parenting you,
Right.
not the other way around.
Yep. Yep.
Agree.
So, and it has to be the same thing with me educating you on something that is that important. Because I think if they understood, it was just not before we even. I mean, because you know what, history is so deep.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
definitely.
And if you go back, listen, I'm not saying we weren't blameless in slave trade and all that.
Right.
I'm not saying that. And if they watched, was it Woman King?
Woman King. Yeah.
They should know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If nothing else from that, because guess what? That part was true.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
We were not blameless.
And they'll try to use that too. In an argument.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I've heard it before. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, you had people that was selling your own people, and
Yeah.
they'll try to use it in an argument. But for what reasons? Some people were doing it just to keep peace.
Yeah.
If I had to sacrifice somebody, that means I had to or a bunch of people in that case, then that's what I did. Because if you come and you're packing, right?
Right.
We not.
That's true.
So all of it wasn't about. But then again, they make it seem like it was for greed.
Right.
Nobody talks about all the other stuff. So okay, so then tell them about who they were before you people even showed up on the scene. You are descendants of kings and queens.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
And I don't know how. Have you guys ever done Ancestry.com or anything like that?
I'm afraid.
Huh?
I'm afraid.
I want to do it.
You're
I haven't
afraid?
done
if
it
I
yet.
end up 50% Caucasian or
African
something,
ancestry.
European, I'm gonna be mad.
Yo, but the interesting part about that is
Yeah.
most of the people that I've known who have done it
Yeah.
normally come out very small percentage of African.
Wow.
Yeah. That's deep.
Wow. Because of once we were encaptured, the bloodline got diluted. I ain't gonna say, does that mean the bloodline got, I ain't gonna say tainted, that's even worse. So the bloodline got diluted. So as we continue to evolve and progress, that lessened the amount of African blood we had, right?
Okay, if you say so.
This is
But
just
where
a
did
theory.
civilization begin in the first place?
In Africa.
Okay. So that means as people moved further away from the equator, that means they got what? They got lighter,
Oh, shut up, light skin.
right?
That's true.
So if civilization began there,
But what does that have to do with your bloodline though? Because you got further and further away from the equator. I mean, school me. I'm trying to learn right now.
so what I'm saying to you is that the bloodline wasn't tainted at one point.
At
in
one point,
time.
right?
Right. And then as people became who they are, that's a whole nother story about where they say man started and civilization started.
Right.
That's a whole other story in itself because they don't talk about Africa being a a huge continent at one point in time. They talk about it as it is right now. But all the other folk, and most of them are like brown, maybe not as dark as some, but we're there. We come in all array of colors.
Yeah.
Right.
So so when you say tainted bloodline, is there such a thing as a tainted bloodline?
Did I say that?
You did.
You did,
All right.
but that's okay.
Diluted too.
I did say dilute. Go ahead. I'm
Because
sorry.
guess what? If somebody cuts you and somebody cuts somebody transparent, y'all gonna bleed the same kind of blood.
That is true.
You may be A positive, he might be B positive, whatever, but it's still gonna be red. So, is there such thing as a tainted bloodline? That's something somebody made up.
Okay.
He did. He just made it up.
I
Sorry, I had to.
I did not make that up. That was like a real question.
I should
like,
have got a something on that, Tasha. Something, you know.
I hate you back
Love you,
almost.
bro. Love you, bro.
Anyway.
Okay.
answer your question?
No, you did. Like, again, because this stuff is very interesting to me, always has been. No, I'm just learning. I mean, yeah, you did, absolutely.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta have you come back on and we go deeper into some of the stuff that you're talking about because it is very interesting.
I read a book many, and this was many years ago. It was called Before Columbus. Did you read that book?
I never heard of it.
It may not even be on the shelves no more. This was
Wow.
like in the 70s.
Let me see if Amazon got it.
Wow. written by a black man or a black person of color.
That is
Trying to
correct.
be politically correct all of a sudden after I say it. Tainted.
I cannot remember who actually wrote it, but I also
Tell you in a
read a
minute.
lot of stuff by Dr. Joy, because she talks about post-traumatic slavery disorder.
Yes.
I think
so
I have that.
I've actually sat in a training.
Oh
I have
man, that was
and
an
I
honor.
have the book. Yeah, yes. We sat in a training with her, and it was absolutely amazing. So the person that wrote Before Columbus was by Charles C. Mann.
Yeah.
Oh, you can still buy it, huh? Okay.
Oh, it's still for sale. I know it was a
$14.99.
long time ago.
Yeah, $14.99. If you have Audible book, it's $0. It's free. And they even got it in an MP3 CD for $9.99.
Wow.
I'm old school.
What
I
are
need
you
to
on,
hold my book
Amazon?
in my hand.
Yeah, Amazon.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's another one here called They Came Before Columbus, The African Presence in Ancient America, Journal of African Civilizations by Yvonne van Sertima.
No, I've
You
never
can
read
see
that
enunciating
one.
over there.
But I'm gonna have to look
Yeah.
at that.
Yep.
And that's one thing I kind of encourage our young people to do is to read for yourself. You know how when you're in church and they say, "Child, read that Bible so you can be study and approve for yourself."
Right.
Don't trust
right,
what people
right.
are telling you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't trust what people are telling you. Read and research.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother conversation too.
Yeah, that is.
Some of the things we've learned, and it's very hard for some people to
Unlearn.
unlearn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
But
is good.
we have got to really push our young people, and especially today. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a teenager in this day and
heck
age.
no.
I'm with you. I know.
No, sir.
I'm like, everybody talks about how grown they are, how the way they act is inappropriate. I'm like, but all they ever see is inappropriateness. It's very rare that they're around
Yeah.
people that have their self together, that don't feel like being naked or being, especially our young ladies, or the guys with their pants down to their. I'll be like, I hope a dog chase him or something. So, because I want to see how he gonna run
How he
like
gonna
that.
run.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it's all of it is extremely important, which is why I'm always saying everything Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Because our history should not be put into a will, and then a month, and then you're going to talk about the same old thing. They just recently started talking about Malcolm X,
Yeah.
but
That
then
took a
before
minute.
it was Brother Martin, Frederick Douglass, sometime, Marcus Garvey. And
Marcus on the fringe.
on the Rosa Parks,
Right, right.
You know,
the
that kind of
mainstays that we got year after year after year.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Harriet.
Yeah,
Dell.
shout out to That's right.
But those kind of things. So I'm always encouraging them. Listen, you can go on any place and find like there's a lot of Black history books out about women, right? And about women who have done stuff in history. And so I always encourage them, listen, go check those books out. Go find something new.
Yeah.
You know, everybody loves Madam C.J. Walker. And they, so much so, they did a movie about her.
Yeah.
So, but we need to know more than that because she's one of the
Absolutely.
mainstays too.
Yeah.
But shout out to her too, because I used to love me some Pearl.
You got it straight, yeah.
So just to encourage them to continue to,
Yeah.
you know, seek and find out information for yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I really believe that if we understand where we come from and whose we are, the reality is I can't. It upsets me when people say, oh, you know, oh, y'all say that. How much can you really care about? There's black on black crime. Well, guess what? There is white on white crime. There is Asian
Yes,
on Asian
yes,
crime.
yes.
There is whatever nationality is on. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
But guess who gets televised?
Exactly.
We do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because now, come on, we seen a boy walk out from a mass shooting and get Burger King.
Right.
They took him to
Right.
the Burger
Sure
King.
did.
That's correct.
That would have never happened. We could
Yeah.
be walking. It's a sin to be black. Walking, eating, driving, whatever.
Existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's a scary thing for them. But then I can almost understand it. Because if we can do, because we never got reparations. We never got, we didn't even get a sorry. But we still managed to rise.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Both of you guys are intelligent, young black people.
Handsome.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah.
I cannot.
You're handsome.
Just throw that part in there. You
Lord
look good
have
too. It's all
mercy.
right.
Oh, well, thank you,
I ain't
sir.
gonna say you handsome, but you know, I'm sorry. Go ahead. We did
And
manage to rise.
those are really
Right.
the kind of people that our young people need to see out in the forefront.
Yeah.
When I think about honoring people, I think about honoring people that works behind the scenes, that nobody knows does, because you know what? Your blessings come from you working in quiet and silence.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're out there, you know, look at me, look what I'm doing, I'm trying to help everybody, I'm trying to do this, then
Right.
to me, it's just, it's
What
I
are you
mean, you
doing
might
it
get what
for?
you want, but the reality is that who have you really helped?
Yeah. The
but
impact. What impact did you make?
But yourself.
Right.
I had a young lady to call me. Actually, she was in one of our very first Juneteenth pageants, and I had not seen her in like forever. I gotta say, it's been over 20 years.
Oh wow.
And she just so happened that she had some properties. And so the girl that works for me was like, hold on, I need to ask my boss. And so she says, I don't know if she said, what's your boss name or something. But she told her what my name was, and the girl screamed in her ear. And she said, oh my God, I know Miss Brenda. And then she was like, oh my God, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't have done what I've done with my life.
Wow.
You know, and so those are the kind of, for me, those are the kind of things that are rewarding to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Right, absolutely.
But it's only that because she understands where she comes from. She understands that we are some really highly intelligent people. We are what limits us.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then we buy into the hype because
Yeah.
you know they still say even with degrees and education and all of that, they still be trying to ram stuff like, oh, you know, they're lazy, they're on welfare. Well, guess what? It's not people of color that's on welfare. Guess what the you know?
The statistics say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
That's
But
not
it's
the
a-
narrative that the media pushes.
That is not the
Yeah.
narrative
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
push.
Yeah. For sure.
And so then they buy into what they're saying. And I'm like, because now what I'm saying is being negated by what they're saying.
Right.
And if I didn't come from a household where we were conscious in our thinking,
Right.
and nobody was saying, listen, you're the color of your skin, how you look, all that, girl, you are beautiful, you're the bomb, or man, you're the man.
Right.
You
Right.
are
Yeah.
descendant of kings.
Right.
Yeah.
And kings don't present themselves like that.
All right. Listen, Miss Brenda, we gotta
sir.
find a way to get you back up in how. Because we need to do a part 2, most definitely. Now, listen, can you tell everyone when, where, what time the festival is happening?
Yeah, you have a line
Let's-
of things.
Let's make this
that-
public for
We do
everyone.
have a line of things, so let me
Yeah.
start with the first one. On
Okay.
June the 5th, we do a flag raising at the Innovation Center on Route 9.
Okay.
It starts at 1 o'clock.
The library?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm with you.
I'm sorry, it starts at 12. It starts at 12 o'clock. Normally, all our wonderful dignitaries come out and support us and bring your dollars.
That's right.
Because I love your presence, but I'd like your money more.
And bring the quiet money. We don't want that loud money. Don't bring all that change down there.
Bring that. There you
Bring
go.
that quiet
there
money
you
with
go.
you.
There you go.
Thought I helped you out right there, Miss Brenda.
And then on June the 11th, we have our 6th annual gala, which is at the Chase Center.
Okay.
Nice.
This year we have a smooth jazz band that's going to be playing.
Should be nice.
Last year we had a really great African drum group that actually the Historical Society paid for because we do partner with them.
Okay.
And this year they actually helped us to get Chubb Rock.
Okay.
Wow.
And you know, even though most people were saying to me, who is Chubb? Well, this is young. They were
Listen,
Young folk, yeah.
I used to
Chubb
skate
Rock.
off some
What did he
Chubb
make? I
Rock.
said, honey, like you Google anybody?
There you
Google
go.
them.
There you go.
You know how people say, Google me. And that starts at 5 o'clock, and it's at the Chase Center. That's the gala.
Okay.
Okay.
And then on Saturday,
Yes, that's
June the 17th,
where we'll be at.
we will be at Tubman Garrett Park on the riverfront.
Okay.
There's a parade that precedes the park. It starts from Rodney Square. If people are still interested in being in the parade, we want to make this the biggest that we have had in a long time. So please still contact me. My number is on there, but I'm going to tell you it. It is 302-588-6963. Come out and support that. If you want to vend at the festival, we still have some spots left. We are really running out. But if you want to vend information, vendors are free if they want to come out and share their organization, and we have quite a few. We have a lot of health organizations that are coming out doing blood pressure screenings, diabetes
Okay.
checks, stuff like that. So
Should
we
they
also
contact you
have
for that too? All these things you're mentioning, you should are
every
you the
they
contact?
can contact me for that.
Okay.
Like I said, I hold this close. We also have a children's corner.
Okay.
So it's like moon bounce, cotton candy,
Okay.
popcorn, all kinds of stuff for kids to do. We also have on. So there at the park, there is going to be a lot to do. Of course, like I said, we have Chub Rock this year. We also have a awesome band. The Odyssey Band will also be at the park.
Okay.
We have a DJ. It is this year's stage is being hosted by 302 Yoda and Stephanie the Light.
Oh yeah, no
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then on the 19th, which is actual Juneteenth Day, everybody should be off, or given the option of being off. We have an observance at Cornerstone Fellowship Baptist Church, which is at 20 Wesley Boulevard in Wilmington, Delaware. Please come out. It's always a really good time. And the church service is very, very significant because when families came back together
Right.
on the 19th, they did service because they were so happy. They went and gave their praises and all that. And then they had a big old picnic and barbecue and all that kind of good stuff. Because normally they do stuff like red punch and red velvet cake and stuff like that. Because all of that is a Juneteenth tradition.
Okay.
And then
See, I didn't know
on the 24th, we have the 26th annual Delaware Juneteenth pageant, where Miss Juneteenth for
You
2020.
can't hear the sound effects because you don't have your headphones on, but she's giving you the.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Snap.
The audience hears it though. Go ahead.
Where Miss Juneteenth 2023 will be crowned. Miss Trinity Evans will be crowning the new upcoming Miss Juneteenth.
Nice.
Okay.
So our ladies, they normally after Juneteenth, the young lady that actually wins Delaware normally goes to the national pageant.
Okay.
And we also had a national pageant winner, Sanaya Gay, in 2021.
Okay. One time for the D.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Miss Brenda, is there anything else you want to tell people and give them your number again and maybe any social media information, how people can reach out to you?
My number is 302-588-6963. You can find us on social media at Facebook, Instagram. You can go to our website, DelawareJuneteenth.org. And I guess that's about it.
Okay. All right.
I
All
don't.
right.
We not fancy yet to have LinkedIn and now we do put things on TikTok, but we don't actually have a TikTok, yet.
All right. All right.
Because y'all got to remember, these sisters been doing this since
Right.
19. So y'all need. I ain't dating
listen,
myself,
we
but
are
you
not,
know what?
No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. Man, Miss Brenda, thank you. This was so informative. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you
It's
guys for
definitely a
having me.
pleasure.
It was really
Yeah.
fun.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you
yes.
coming
very,
through tonight.
Very knowledgeable. We got a
Yes.
wealth of information.
Yes, we did. So
Now
listen,
you know our bloodline is not diluted or tainted.
He said the Lulu.
we just got further away from the equator. All right. You done?
I'm done. I just.
All right. So real quick before we wrap up tonight, I just want to say, man. So my family recently suffered a very tragic thing. So I want to just send a shout out to the Phillips family in Sunset and Marion, Arkansas, and I want them to know that. Listen, we love Samantha also. We loved her. We loved her. We loved her, and we are praying out here, the family on this end. And whatever you need from us, please don't hesitate. And we will continue to reach out to you guys to check in. But, we also suffered that loss. I know a lot of people aren't looking at it that way, but she was a part of our family for over 15 years. So with that being said, just love on who loves you. Let's take care of ourselves and take care of each other. That's so important, man. Just take care of each other. And that's it. I love to you all. Love to everybody, man. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
Right quick.
Yes.
You said love who loves you.
Yes.
No, love everybody.
Love everybody. That's a challenge sometimes.
'Cause, that is a
Yes.
challenge, but that's not your problem.
I agree. You are right. Thank you. See, Miss Brandon, at the very end, still dropping jewels. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. On behalf of my co-host, Shay Marriott,
Thank
we are The
you.
Rebirth, and we are out.
See you guys next Monday at 7 p.m.
We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now. We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now.